Here's what you need to make the easiest side dish in the world. So cream of whatever soup you have on hand. You can use sour cream, cottage cheese. It really doesn't matter which one you use. You're just going to use a little bit. So we're going to take that whole can of cream of whatever. I love my smooth edge can opener because not only has that little clip on it, I'm not going to cut myself on the lid because it's a smooth edge, okay? You can even give like your little ones to be able to use this. And then I'm scraping out every part of that can to make sure I get the entire can. Keep in mind, whatever you use, it's going to have a little bit of a chicken taste to it, or a celery taste, or a mushroom taste. So I have blended cottage cheese that I had blended up the other day, and I'm going to take an entire cup. So remember, you can use Greek yogurt, you can use regular sour cream, just something to give it a little bit more creamier texture. So then you're going to go ahead and add whatever seasonings you like to use. Now, since it is potatoes, I personally like to use oregano and paprika. Those are my go-tos, but I wanted to actually add a little bit more saltiness to this. And you're just going to measure with your heart, okay? You want to make sure you can see the seasoning though, okay? If you don't see the seasoning, add a little bit more. It's not going to hurt it too much unless you're using crushed red peppers. Those can get a little spicy. All right, and then I went ahead and mixed all of this up together so that I had a consistent on the entire, every single bite of potatoes. I wanted it to be so good. I was really looking forward to this recipe. So you just keep on mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing. Again, I don't like dishes, so I was doing the whole thing in the pan. And then you're going to add your potatoes. Now, my potatoes are canned potatoes, so they're already been cooked and pressure cooked. If you're using raw potatoes, you definitely want to increase your cook time to at least an hour, okay? Potatoes take forever to cook. So I use 3 quarts of potatoes, so it's about like 1 potato per person. And then again, we're just gonna mix. We're gonna coat all that cheesy goodness on those potatoes and just keep stirring and stirring and stirring until you have a consistency through the entire dish. You don't want to have all the sauce on one side, okay? Just keep stirring it. It doesn't have to look pretty. You're gonna eat it no matter what. Okay, so then you are just going to smooth it out to make sure it is one layer. You don't want to have like a mountain on one side because then it's not going to cook evenly. And then you're going to take whatever cheese you have and we're going to shred it on top. Now, if you already have some shredded cheese, great. I personally like to shred my own cheese because there doesn't have that flour texture to it. It also melts easier and I personally think it tastes just a little bit better. Here I'm using some mild cheddar. I have no idea why it looks so neon, but it was not neon orange, okay? I don't know what kind of lighting I had going on. But I shredded an entire 8-ounce block of cheese on this meal, and I went around the edges to make sure every single corner had some cheese on it. And I had my little friends nearby. They really wanted some cheese, but I used this entire block of cheese on this recipe. So again, you can use whatever leftover cheese you have in the fridge. It's still going to taste good. Okay, and then you're going to take half a stick of butter, and I chop mine up into little tabs of butter so that way I could spread it throughout the meal. I honestly might leave the butter out the next time, and the first time that I placed the butter on here, I wasn't happy with my placement, so I moved it around to kind of evenly spread it throughout the recipe, but that's what it ended up happening. So we're going to cover this with aluminum foil, and you're going to bake it at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Now, if your potatoes are not cooked, you want to cook them for at least an hour until your potatoes are done. So then you're going to remove the aluminum foil and then you're going to continue to cook it until it's the brownness that you want. Now next time I'm going to put it in a pan that I can stick underneath the broiler to make it really crispy, and here are your end results. Can't wait to see you try it. Enjoy!